Yo guys, what's up? Welcome to Zudi Pickups. Today, I want to talk to you guys about Complexcon 2017. So, this is actually my second Complexcon. The first Complexcon I went to was last year. I went at a slightly different capacity because I was working at Stance at the time. I went as part of an exhibitor team. This time I went as like a private citizen, I guess, like a regular person. I purchased the $50 expo ticket, so my experience was like vastly different this year. So I want to talk about this year's Complexcon. Essentially, we showed up at 10 a.m., which is 1 hour before the doors open to general admission at 11 a.m. We're like pretty far back in line. It took us about 40 minutes once the doors opened to get to the front of the gate. So by the time we got in, it was like 11:40. But as you can see, the lines are ridiculously long. I had like a couple of things that I wanted to get. I want to check out the Undefeated X Nike stuff. I want to check out the Union LA Noah stuff. I want to check out Colette. I want to check out Carhartt Work in Progress, and I want to check out this brand called Lafayette, which I've been following for a while. So initially I thought, Undefeated is going to have the longest line, so that's the first place I should go. So as soon as we got in at 11:45, I beelined right over to Undefeated. The line was like super duper long at that point, like probably like a couple hundred people. Their booth was like super cool. They had like the Air Max 97s like on the back wall. They had really limited quantities, probably like 150 maybe, some, or 200 if I'm being generous, but they didn't have that much, and it's like they'd start pulling pairs from the back like whenever someone bought a pair, so you can see them like disappearing like literally in front of your eyes. Basically, in the position of the line where we were, we had no chance of getting any of the Air Max 97s. We were too far back, but you know, we still had a chance of getting the merchandise, which I thought was pretty cool because they had a Nike Undefeated hoodie and like a cross sling body pack and some like t-shirts and stuff like that. So that's the stuff that I was going for. But we were in line for like 40 minutes, and this like huge fight broke out at the front of the line. People were like pushing and yelling, and I don't know exactly what caused the fight. Maybe someone was trying to cut, I don't know. But essentially like all hell broke out because like people were just like fighting, and like the plexiglass booth walls of Undefeated would start to like shake. Like their securities started yelling. They're like breaking up the fight. So eventually like the fight broke up, but then like the line had just vanished like in the chaos. It's just everyone just like started pushing forward once the fighting erupted. And so Undefeated security was like, oh, we're done. We're gonna shut down the booth. So they shut down the booth, and they said they're not gonna sell any more shoes. They pulled all the merchandise and went away. And that was it. Undefeated was closed. So we pretty much like stood in line for like an hour for nothing. Everything was gone. So at that point we're like, oh shit, like we need to go somewhere else, get in line. So we decided to go to Union to go for the Noah shirts. But then what I did not know was that Union was also dropping this like black and gold patent leather looking Jordan 1 top 3. I don't know. Not a huge Jordan guy, so I had no idea about that. But apparently everyone wanted to get that shoe as well, so there's like a huge line in Union, LA of people trying to get the Jordan. I just wanted to go in for the Noah shirt, but since it was being sold in the same like location, I had to like be in the Jordan line to be able to get the Noah shirt. And I did not want to do that. That looked like a good 3-hour line. So I was like, I don't know about that. Apparently though, there was you could have gotten the shirts with an app called Frenzy, and not have to wait in line and just like pick it up from the pickup location. However, your boy uses Android, and Frenzy is not available on Android, so that was pretty much a goner. We didn't want to wait like 3 hours in line for the t-shirt, so we decided to move on to the next booth, which was Colette. Now, Colette was the first booth that actually had a reasonable line, about 20 minutes. They're selling this shirt that said Colette Forever because, as you guys know, Colette is closing, and it was kind of like a Colette memorial shirt. We wanted to get that, but at this point we've been dawdling at these other booths for too long. They'd sold out of the Colette Forever shirt. Bummer. And I had to get my second choice, which was this Colette X Pleasures long sleeve white tee. Yeah, Pretty sick though. You know, you got the French tricolor flag and nice screen printed graphic on the front. This was $45, so kind of pricey for a long sleeve shirt, but at this point, you know, I was like kind of like itching to buy something because like the first 2 booths I went to, I didn't get to get anything. So I picked this up, second choice, pretty happy with it. Moved on to Carhartt Work in Progress. Carhartt Work in Progress was, they were advertising exclusive capsule for Complexcon. It was like LBC, like C being the Carhartt logo, meaning Long Beach, California. The capsule consisted of this like camel colored tote and a white pocket tee with golden letters. The white pocket tee was what I was interested in, but they told me it was like $50, and I was like, that's a little much for just like a t-shirt, and I hadn't seen the rest of the con yet, so I decided to pass on it for now because I didn't know if I wanted to like buy other stuff, right? So, you know, I said no. They did have a pretty expansive selection of their regular stuff, you know, the stuff that you can buy from CarharttWorkInProgress.com. But they weren't having any sort of sales or anything like that. Last year, they were having some pretty deep sales. I picked up a pair of sunglasses and like a sweater and stuff like that for almost half off. So anyway, this year they were like full price, so I decided to just pass on them and decided to go to the next store, which was Lafayette NYC. So Lafayette is this brand that's been around for a while. I mean, they're America-based, but they're like bigger in Japan, kind of like similar to how like Supreme is. There's like this brand only has like 1 store in New York and like 6 stores in Japan all over the place. And their Complexcon exclusive was this collab with a hot sauce brand called El Pato. And El Pato is like one of my favorite like hot sauce brands. Like, it was super weird. It was like kind of like an obscure hot sauce brand that I really like. And this is like the streetwear company that I've been following for a long time, and they're like doing a exclusive at Complexcon. So I was like, I guess this is like perfect. I need to pick it up. So I ended up picking up this long sleeve from them. They had like no line there, and the guys working there were the guys from the Japanese store. They're like the nicest guys ever, you know. They're telling me about the brand, hooking me up. They gave me like 2 free cans of hot sauce. Got some duck print on the sleeve here. On the back, you got the nutrition facts. So all in all, like, pretty dope shirt. Really digging it. Lafayette El Pato hot sauce collab. Yeah, it's kind of like a weird thing, but I really liked it. It kind of like fit exactly what I was looking for, so I picked it up. That was like $40 too, so not that expensive. So after that, we were getting pretty hungry. We decided to go eat some lunch. Got some kogi truck. Lines for that were huge too. Came back inside, wanted to check out some of the major exhibitors like Adidas and Nike, but those also had like huge lines at by that time, because it was like 1 getting close to like 2 p.m. So the lines were huge. Adidas was dropping a exclusive, I want to say NMDHU NERD collab, and they had some exclusive EQT 93 17s, like none of which really like I was interested in. Nike was doing this AF100, like build your own, customize your own AF1, like, you know, the whole like off-white type thing where you deconstruct stuff, like dip your shoes in dye, make them different colors. It was like a really cool experience, but also that also had like a huge line, and we didn't really want to spend the rest of the day just like waiting in line for Adidas or Nike, so you know, we decided to make the call to go to the smaller booths where there were no line, and you know, just kind of like try to explore the convention. They also had like a lot of music going on the little stage that they had. Like a bunch of artists came on. I think there's some rap artists, there's some DJs, like a lot of good music playing, and there are some talks going on that we wanted to go to, but we never actually made it to the talks. We were just too busy like shopping around, I guess. Went to a bunch of the smaller booths, collected a lot of free swag. Like people were giving out stickers, like posters, you know, like little like Jason Marks shoe wipes, all kinds of stuff. One of the more memorable booths was Atmos. So Atmos is a Japanese sneaker boutique, and you know, they're known for their Atmos Air Max 1s, obviously, and the Atmos Air Max Masters, which are basically like a jumble of animal prints on the Air Max 1. So in March 2018, they're coming out with like a new version of the Air Max Masters, even with more animal prints, and they're showcasing a preview of that shoe at their booth, which was like a crazy looking shoe. I don't know if I could pull it off, but definitely a crazy looking shoe. They had some of the merch that was coming out with it released early, so you could buy like the hoodie and the t-shirts that were, you know, themed after that shoe. It was like a little expensive, and the sizes were Japanese sizes, so I passed on it. But if I was like a little smaller, and if it was a little cheaper, I think I definitely would have picked it up. So yeah, around like 4 o'clock, 4:30, we were really tired. We'd gone to pretty much like all the small booths. We were pretty much done for the day. We didn't want to wait in line for any of the large retailers, so we decided to pack it up and leave. And yeah, that was pretty much it. All in all, I want to say it was like a really fun experience. It was great to like, you know, visit all the small little vendors, the little booths, talk to the exhibitors, like see these new brands, up and coming brands, like see what they had to offer. Like a lot of the art there was really cool. A lot of the exhibits that they had, you know, they had a lot of interactive exhibits that was really cool. All in all, like I think it was like a really cool experience. However, that being said, you know, we cannot not address how big of a shit show all the lines were. So I think the concept of Complexcon is really cool. That, you know, that where you have all these like hyped releases in this small concentrated area, but the execution of it, you know, is horrible. Essentially, last year when they had Complexcon for the first time, like they noticed that this was a problem, that like, you know, there's like these huge lines all over the convention center floor that were just totally out of control. So I thought this year maybe they'd do something to fix it, but no, they didn't do anything. It just got worse, because this year I overheard some of the event organizers talking. They were saying that almost twice as many attendees came in this year versus last year. So you're talking about like twice as many people, you know, waiting in line for all these booths. And honestly, it's like not really fun to wait in line for hours and hours and hours to like, you know, go get something. Like you're essentially like paying $50 or, you know, $70 or however much you paid to get in to go wait for merchandise drops in these huge lines. And it'd be one thing if like the lines were like orderly and nice, and all you had to do is like put in the time, wait, and get to the front of the line, make your transaction. No, that's not the case. The lines are like really unruly. There are a lot of fights breaking out. There are a lot of cutting. Just generally very unpleasant. The fact that there was any sort of like line organization. I mean, there was like some employees trying to kind of like police the lines, but you know, if you go to like a Supreme drop or something like that, there are a lot of employees that just security employees that they're dedicated to policing the line. That's their only job during the drop. And we're talking about like, you know, 20 times the number of people that show up to a Supreme drop, and essentially like the same number of people trying to like police the lines. And it ended up just being like people cutting everywhere, and the lines just falling apart, and it's just like a very unpleasant experience, I would say, for your average shopper who just wants to like go like buy something. You know, like no one really wants to wait in line all day, jump from line to line to line, buy like 2 things and leave. That's not a really fun convention, because that kind of like defeats the purpose of going. There's all this cool stuff that you want to do, but you can't. It's like you have to choose between waiting in line for like the 1 or 2 super hype things that you want, or do you want to go enjoy the convention that you paid for? You know, I did the latter, but I think a lot of people, you know, ended up doing the former, where they just like stood in line. And I mean, if that's what they want to do and that's, you know, their main objective, like I guess like all the power to them. But I think Complex can do it a little better maybe next year. Try to avoid some of the lines, you know, change up the format instead of first come first serve to like a raffle type thing, or like Union LA did. Maybe they can do some sort of like frenzy type app. I don't know. I think it definitely beats just like waiting in line. Another, I guess, like problem I had was like the whole like VIP thing. So in order to get the VIP weekend pass, it's like $400. That means you get in an hour before everyone else at 10. So that means if you got to the convention center early and had the VIP pass, you were in the front of the VIP line. That means you could have gotten in right as the doors opened and essentially like gotten like all the stuff that you wanted to get before all the main people started to pour in. I mean, you probably still had to wait in line, you know, with all of the other VIP people because there were a substantial amount of VIP people too. But still, you know, you get a huge leg up over the general admission people, and you know, obviously they what they want you to do is like they want to sell more of the $400 ticket than the $50 ticket, but still it's just like for the general admission people, like you pretty much have like no chance in getting something like the Undefeated 97s. Like there's like no way you could have even gotten it. So yeah, all in all, that was my experience with Complexcon 2017. It was a really fun event, kind of marred by the fact that there were just like too many people and it was just managed very poorly. It would have been awesome if I would have been able to buy all the stuff I wanted and then listen to all the talks from all the cool people that I was interested in and admire all the artwork and the exhibitions, but there's not enough time and there's too many people trying to do all the same things as you were trying to do, so it just results in this giant congested mess. So yeah, maybe next year they'll finally be able to work it out. Maybe I won't go next year. Depends on what's dropping too. But yeah, maybe that's just me, but if you guys had a similar experience, I'd definitely like to hear about it. So once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.